would like to welcome all of you to this very, very, very important occasion. We had a fundraising opening ceremony last night at the library and the community hall, and raised a little bit more money for the library. Today is our celebration for the whole community of this very, very special, very wonderful center of our city. And all of us that have been working for so many years, I think maybe 7 to 10 at this point, from the first initial vision of this project, are very, very happy to be here today. But this is your civic center. It is your library, your community hall, your civic plaza. The taxpayers pay the $25 million. They tax themselves for 15 years by extending a utility user tax to pay for it because it's that important to them. We have a library community fundraising group that has raised $800,000 of the $1.2 million to put into furniture and fixtures. Everybody has come together to give this city an identity that we desperately have needed. And isn't it appropriate that it's all around education and learning, city government, your seat of government, and open space and coming together? Because I really believe that's what Cupertino is about. And I've been here for over 35 years, and that hasn't changed. I don't think it's going to change in the future. Since this morning is divided into two different areas, I just want to clarify for you. Right now, we are going to open and dedicate the Cupertino Community Hall. At 11:30, we will be opening and dedicating the library. So there'll be two different celebrations, ceremonies. The community hall is a building that is very flexible. It is your seat of government, and that your city council will be holding all of their council meetings there. It also can be set up for performances and for dinners, and therefore it's probably the only city council that's going to pay for itself, because you all are going to lease the space. And when you go inside, you'll see how gorgeous it is. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but I wanted to mention to you what would be occurring. And during the morning, all of our restaurants, or many of our restaurants in town, have donated food and drink. Please say thank you to them, and please enjoy it. But since this is our seat of government, we're going to start out in what I think is a very, very appropriate way. I have asked the Santa Clara County firefighters, personal friends of mine, and the firefighting service that we contract with as a city, to come and be the honor guard to, for the first time ever, raise our national flag, our state flag, our city flag, at our seat of government. And I'm very happy to say that the Cupertino High School Kappa, under the direction of Mr. Aaron, will be singing the national anthem. So please join us in this very special first time ever ceremony.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Thank you very, very, very much. Please be seated, those of you who have chairs. We have a few people here today that were elected to their office. Therefore, they are representing many other people, and I would like to take this opportunity to introduce them. First of all, of course, I would like to introduce my fellow council members, starting with Vice Mayor Patrick Kwok. Councilwoman Dolly Sandoval. Former Mayor and present Councilman Richard Lowenthal. Councilwoman Chris Wang. Our city manager who came out of hiding, Dave Knapp, in the back there, trying to be shy today. We have some other people who have been elected. We have someone who was a big part of this project that I worked together with for about probably 8 years of my political office, former mayor, Mr. Michael Chang. We have a very good friend to the city of Cupertino, chancellor now of the Foothill De Anza Community College District, Martha Cantor. Our brand new president of De Anza College, Brian Murphy. I know somewhere in here we have Ben Lau, who is on the Cupertino Union School District Board of Education, elected by you to represent you on educational matters. We have two visiting mayors from our sister cities. So we have Mayor Lynn, who is here from Sincho City, and Mayor Nakano, who is here from Toyokawa City. Please welcome him. He's here somewhere. Let's see. And I think that, and Captain John Hirakawa. Where are you, John? Captain Hirakawa, who is here representing the Sheriff Lori Smith. She was here last night. She's out of town today. Captain Hirakawa is essentially our chief of police and a very, very important person to us. Very briefly, I just want to explain to you what this plaza is about. This plaza is meant and is designed to be an interactive area for you to come and play and study and visit, have fun, meditate, run through the fountains, if you're a child, even an adult. Come and debate issues with us in front of your city council. Come and talk to your planning commissioners and your parks and rec commissioners. It is a place for you to party, to have wedding receptions and bat mitzvahs and anniversary parties, a coming together to go over to City Hall and conduct business that you have to do in your city, to come and read a book, to go across the street. There's a restaurant being built right there, physicians' offices there also. There will be festivals using this area, and it has been designed to go a block and a half this way, and you're at Cali Mill Plaza, which was designated and dedicated to celebrate the agricultural history of Cupertino, and where we have a beautiful hotel and two wonderful restaurants. And we're hoping that when this is all completed, you now have a center of your city that you can be very, very proud of, because it was your vision as well as ours, certainly is your money that built it. And you are going to be the ones that make it successful, because the more you use it, the more loved it becomes, the more it becomes a part of who you are and a part of who all of we are. None of it could happen without the businesses, the educational community, the recreational communities, the nonprofits, those of us who are elected to humbly voice your opinions and make decisions based upon your input, coming together along with the young people of this community to make something that I think we will all have a tremendous amount of pride in, and our children and our grandchildren and our grandchildren's grandchildren are going to love and enjoy. I would like to introduce to you, since our city manager has chosen not to speak today, the senior staff member who has been in charge of this project. He is our Public Works Director, Ralph Qualls. Come on up here, Ralph. And I have the privilege and honor of working with him. Fortunately, we work very well together. We're sort of the good cop, bad cop routine, he and I. Ralph Qualls brought this project in despite numerous challenges, including an economy that went in the dumper about 4 years ago, budget cuts, changes in what's going on in our city, personal issues. Do we have it on a field? Do we not have it on a field? 9/11. About every possible kind of challenge you could have. This project is on time and under budget, guys. Yes. Congratulations. He has brought every project in. The senior center, the sports center, on time. The sports center 5 months early, on budget or under budget. He is a very special guy. We are lucky to have him, and I've asked him to speak just a little bit about what we're doing today and about this wonderful, wonderful gift to our city.
Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Madam Mayor, and members of the council, ladies and gentlemen. I said to the group last night, there were times when I didn't think this day would ever come. And when it did come, I was afraid it would come shortly after my death. But nevertheless, it has, and thank you all for coming. My only purpose here this morning is to just single out a few folks who helped us bring this together. We have a very fine and talented group of professionals that we have brought along with us from the private sector in the design and construction community to help us do this, and some of them are here this morning. First of all, a very important group, SMWM Architects from San Francisco, who helped build this project, design it. A lot of the nuances and materials and spaces that you'll see and enjoy came from those fine professionals. Kathy Simon, their managing partner, is not here this morning. She was here last night, but Greg Novikoff and Doug Hoffeld, Doug's architect, both architects who have helped us bring this together. And I also wanted to single out especially the principal architect on this project, who from the very first day, and some of you in the audience were with me when we toured the Newport Library that she also designed, had a commitment and a vision for this community that's never failed. And I'd like her especially to step forward. SMWM and Linda Sabota. Linda, over here. Many of you don't know Linda, but she really, from day one, day in, day out, has been the one who has kept us, and I just wanted you to meet her and see who she is. Once more, Linda Sabota, please. Also, and I are a very fine team of construction managers who helped Terry Green and I manage this project. Nova Partners from Palo Alto. I don't see them. If David Marks or Scott Fees are here, would you raise your hand? I haven't seen them yet this morning. This is probably the first morning these poor guys have been able to sleep in a year and a half, so they may be where they are. But let's have a hand for Nova Partners. They did a wonderful job for us. And I see that we have at least, I see Doug Mitchell and Rudy Silva, who's over. Rudy, where are you? There you are. From Swinnerton Builders, one of the best contractors I've ever worked with in the 34 years I've been doing this. Swinnerton Builders, Doug, raise your hand. Rudy, over here. And I didn't see Craig or Mel, but they're a fine group, and you can tell the quality. Swinnerton Builders, ladies and gentlemen, if you want anything built, those are the guys to do it for you. And lastly, but by no means least, my old partner we've been together now for 20 years. Our first project was the San Jose Convention Center, and it was, ironically, very much like Cupertino, it was the biggest single public works project the city of San Jose had ever attempted. And this, for Cupertino, is the same, the biggest capital improvement program that the city has ever attempted in the Civic Center. And I can assure you that putting together a project like the Convention Center, which is a $150 million project, and this one, which is a $25 million project, the only thing different about doing those projects is the number of zeros on the end of the numbers. They are equally difficult, very complex, and very important to the community. And I'd like Terry to step forward if he's still, where is he? Oh, there he is, all right. Terry Green, ladies and gentlemen, the city's very talented senior architect. Thank you, Terry, for all you've done. And now I would like to just make one last comment before I turn it back over to Mayor James. And that is that those of you who are in the plaza here, there are 2 rows of water fountains that you see here. There are 3 rows. Some of you are standing on the 3rd row. And if you didn't take a shower this morning, you're welcome to stay where you are. But I would suggest you move back a bit, because one of the things we're going to do before we complete the ceremony is to turn on the fountains. Thank you very much for the support of the community and all our elected officials. We could not have done it without your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Ralph. Okay, we just got a couple more things we're going to do. I want to explain to you that we're going to go over to the door and cut the ribbon, we being the city council, the city manager, and Ralph Qualls. And then we're going to turn on these fountains. And then we will ask you to just kind of come on inside. There is a loop video that's going to be playing, showing you the construction from beginning to end. And then there'll be another loop video inside with some comments from all of your city council members, so we all get a chance to share with you our thoughts on it. And you'll get a chance to see this beautiful facility, how it interacts with the community, and what you might be willing and interested in doing inside the building. By the time you're through with that, at 11:30, we'll have set up over here, and we will be doing a dedication for the library. The library will be open for business the rest of the day, as will the food booth. So if the city council will join me over at the window, at the door here. I have the microphone, so why don't you guys do the scissors? Okay. You want the chamber commerce side, or you want the other side? The other side. Yeah, the chamber's not part of this. In fact, they didn't. Somebody has real scissors. I think Ralph's gonna just. Okay. Are we ready? Is everybody ready? How about if the young people in the audience help us by counting 3, 2, and 1? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Go. Here we go. All right. Okay, you're going to want to walk back away from the fountains. You might want to get away from the water, because when they come on, they're going to come on big and tall. Okay, everybody back? Are we ready? Are we ready, Terry? Let's go. These fountains are on a program. They're your fountains, people. Enjoy them. Welcome, everyone, to this very, 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 very special occasion. I am your mayor. My name is Sandra James. I think most of you know me. This is a pretty exciting day for all of us. We hope it's as exciting a day for all of you, and many, many days to come. We're going to open our beautiful new library, and as I talked a few minutes ago, some of you who weren't here will hear some new information. Some of you who were here for the community hall, you'll probably hear us repeat a couple things, just because that's important to do. Primarily to talk about the fact that this whole plaza project works together. It is the largest public works project in the 50-year history of this city, $25 million. It includes a brand new library, a community hall building, which is a flexible space that you can lease for parties and for performances, and is also your seat of government and where your city council will be meeting to have their meetings and where you can come and talk to us. Across the way is our city hall, where you come to conduct business with your city and with your city employees. And in the middle of all of it is a wonderful interactive plaza that also is wired, by the way, so it's Wi-Fi, where you can come and just sit and visit, play in the fountains, read, talk, have something to eat. There's a coffee shop on the corner here that's part of the library, Coffee Society. The unfinished round building over there you see will be another restaurant. That's a medical dental building across the street. There's a whole other project going on there. And about a block and a half catty corner from here is Cali Mill Plaza, which we dedicated as designating the agricultural history of Cupertino, and where there are two very nice restaurants, Boulanger and Park Place, and another plaza where you can hang out and have fun. So we hope that what we've created for you is the downtown center of the city that you have been asking for, and how very appropriate it is that it is centered by the seat of learning, seat of government, some open space, including a soccer field on the other side, and a beautiful view of our wonderful valley and our mountains. We're going to have a very few speeches, but a few people you really need to hear from. And then we're going to open this library, and when you go inside, you're going to see a library that in part was designed by the people of Cupertino, because we had a year of public meetings where we brought little statues and pieces of foam and cardboard, and the architects worked with you, and you helped us design this building. And the major concept was that we wanted the outside in and the inside out. And you will find a courtyard in the middle of this library where you can take your books and sit under a tree and read without having to check them out and come outside. You will find a beautiful, gorgeous aquarium that Fred Chan and his family donated as an interactive learning experience. You will find sculptures that were donated by the Randalls. And you will find a world-class library where everywhere you look, you can look outside, where we very seldom have to turn the lights on because the light is natural, and where you have windows that can open so we hardly ever have to use the air conditioning. And I think you're going to love it, and I believe your overriding feeling is going to be one of utmost pride, as mine is. I want to take a moment and allow each of our council members, we don't usually do this, usually the mayor's the one who speaks at public meetings, but this is such a big and important project. I wanted to give each council person a couple minutes to voice their major kind of overriding thoughts on the day. So if you would please, one at a time, I'll introduce them, starting with our Vice Mayor, Patrick Kwok.
Thank you, Sandy. This is a really historical day for Cupertino and also for the residents of Cupertino. And I want to welcome everybody here. This is your library. We did it on time and budget. As you know that in 1998, we had an opinion poll and asked our residents, would you like to have a library? And I think majority, or over 78% of our residents say, yes, we want a library. So we built it without, we got into our general funds and also with the reserve, and we built a library of $24 million. And this also demonstrates the our community commitment to education. You know, it is a place where everybody can get together, network, and do homework, and with high technology computer. And very exciting about the aquarium, I think the mayor mentioned about the 4,000 gallons marine aquarium. This is the second one in the whole state of California. And thanks to our Apple computers in Cupertino, they give all the computer technologies. So I want to welcome everybody, you know, to the library and to it. And thank you very much for your input. It is your library, and we're looking forward to you spending a lot of time in the library. Once again, thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Next up, why don't I have our next long-termist, most long-term, former mayor, present council member, Richard Lowenthal.
Well, thank you very much. Well, I'll say I'm the senior member and proud of it. Thank you for coming here today. I have been involved in this project for a very long time, and it's been an exciting project from the beginning. My vision about this project was that the people of Cupertino should get more out of this, out of their $25 million than a new library. And I have pushed from the beginning to see you out here. My goal is to see people walking around the city of Cupertino, spending some time in our great weather. So my vision was that this is our gathering place, and we want you to come back. This is your home here. We want you to come and use the community hall. We want you to have your gatherings here, have your fundraisers here. Come over and see us. Come over and visit the library. Get a cup of coffee from the Coffee Society and go enjoy it out there in the courtyard inside the library. We want to see you here. Part of this project, in partnership with our neighbors here, they will be building a half-acre linear park from here down to De Anza Boulevard. So you'll be able to see the community hall and the library with open space all the way down to De Anza Boulevard. So we have worked with our neighbors here. You'll see that there's a cobblestone street here. That's to bring all this together as your community gathering place. So we hope that you'll come and visit us here often. As Sandy said, it's your place. You paid for it. We have just tried to do our best to make it something that you'll love. I think it's appropriate, and it was a lot of hard work, actually, to save the soccer field. But Cupertino is about kids, it's about education, it's about self-government, and that's what we have here. And we're very happy that you're out here to celebrate the opening of it, and hope you'll come back many, many times. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard. Actually, a lady doesn't usually say this, but I'm the senior member here. The next senior member is Dolly Sandoval.
Thanks for coming out today. We all have our unique issues and perspectives of the library and this project. And I want to let you know, well, first raise your hand. How many of you went to the old library at any time in your life? All right. How many of you know that 85% of the old library has been either recycled or reused here? You may recall with the old library and the old plaza, you had to step down about 6 steps and you had a grass field. That has been filled in with the granite and construction from the old library. We ground up that material right here on site, and that's now underneath the lights and the grass area over here. So this city is very, very resourceful at making sure that we use your tax dollars wisely, and also make sure that whatever materials we do have, that we reuse them as wisely as we possibly can. And I think you'll notice when you go into the library how well lit it is. It's mostly sunlight. You'll see a lot of windows all around the library, both in the plaza area and on the second floor, and you can have the lights off during the day and have all this natural sunlight come in. So we try to use your resources wisely. We thank you for voting to help us make this a priority and make it happen. Don't forget, there's also an election on Tuesday to vote for. But thanks for coming out today, and we hope to see you back here again.
Thank you, Dolly. And the least senior member of the City Council, Chris Wang.
Well, I got to tell you, that's really a disadvantage to follow 4 senior members to speak here. They already cover most of the features. I really have to think what else that I can share with everybody. But first, I wanted to welcome everybody and thank you for coming out here. As we all know that education is what we care of, and the high achieve education is also what we all proud of. And this library, this new library, just reflect exactly that education that we all share here. So I encourage you folks, come out, check out this 58,000 brand new library, world-class library. You come out here for reading, for math, for learning, for getting new knowledges, anything, or just relax. Come out here, hang out in the courtyard, having coffee. And one thing I want to emphasize, I know they already covered everything. One thing I want to emphasize is this center, if I'm saying right, we have a wireless facility here. So you can bring your laptop here, have a cup of coffee in the inside courtyard or out here or a community hall. You can do whatever, wherever you want, and you can get online. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming out. Thanks.
Thank you, Chris. I don't usually like to stand behind a podium because I disappear, but I do have a number of elected officials here, and I don't want to miss anyone, so I'm going to use a list. We do have a state assemblywoman, Sally Lieber, who joined us. Please say thank you. Welcome. Thank you for coming, Sally. We also have a couple of former mayors in the audience. Don Burnett, I just saw you over there. Don Burnett, please raise your hand. Don worked real hard on this project. A lot of those years with me. Michael Chang, where's Michael? Former Mayor Michael Chang worked very hard on this project. We have some mayors from other cities, or council members from other cities. We have Dan Furtado from Campbell, who's here to join us. Where are you? There. We have Diane McNutt from Diane McNutt from Los Gatos. Another former mayor just joined us, Barbara Rogers. She's behind us. Laura Lee Sorensen, who's also former mayor. Where's Laura Lee? Over there. Hey, Laura Lee. It's nice to see everybody come back. We have two visiting mayors from our sister cities. Please welcome Mayor Lynn from Hsinchu, sister city. And Mayor Nakano from our Toyokawa, sister city. From Cupertino Union School District, from their board of directors, Ben Lau is here, representing them. There's Ben. Very good friend of mine, the chancellor of the Foothill De Anza Community College District, Martha Cantor. And the new president of De Anza College, Brian Murphy. If you haven't met him, say hello. Go over and talk to him. Our captain, the captain of our police from the Sheriff's Department, Captain John Hirakawa. Where's John? Surround. Our firefighters are here today, too, so please go over and say hello to them. They're on call, so they will be coming and going all day, but they'll be bringing their fire trucks for the young people especially. Please say hello and tell them how much you appreciate them. We have a lot of commissioners here today. You're going to hear from the head of one of the library commissions, but we have a lot of commissioners here today. So just any of you on any of our commissions, because you all participated, just wave your hands so we can say thank you for all the free time you give to all of us. Did I forget anyone? If I did, I apologize. All the rest of you who came, those of you who pay your taxes in this city, those of you who paid for this building, those of you who voted for all of us, those of you who help us with the staff, who communicate with us on a regular basis, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for being a part of this. As Richard said, I say many times, this is your place, this is your building, this is your city. There are a couple of people who would like to say a few words to you that are an important part of this day. Our county librarian, Melinda Cervantes.
Thank you, and it's really an honor to be here, and I am overwhelmed, although I should not be overwhelmed by the attendance because this is the busiest library in the Santa Clara County Library System. The new Cupertino Library offers many exciting new possibilities. And just as a point of reference, public libraries in the United States are rather unique. And it's really very rare when we have the opportunity to open a new library in this county. And the residents of Cupertino, you need to be congratulated. You have really done a terrific job. The public library has been from the beginning a community-based social, cultural, and educational institution. Public libraries aim to be comfortable and inviting places and free to all who care to come through the doors. This is one of the few institutions in every community that welcomes all of its citizens. In more recent history, the Carnegie Foundation, Andrew Carnegie, infused over $41 million. $41 million built a lot of libraries at one time in this country. and it might build 2 today. But between the years of 1881 and 1917, many of these original structures were built, and very few of them operate today. I know there is one in the city of San Jose that is still functioning as a library. The Carnegie name remains synonymous with public libraries. Now, why are libraries so important, especially today when information is available from so many other sources? Well, first, often they are the first place where a child is introduced to books and reading. They are a family place where multi-generations of family visit together, a learning place for school-aged children after school, a place of independent learning and contemplation, and a public forum for community conversation. I know that the new Cupertino Library is going to fulfill all of those dreams and many more. And I want to congratulate you with one other final thought. People crave a feeling of community, and many of your city council members have already commented on that. We hope that the library becomes that third place after home and work that becomes a meaningful part of your lives. I congratulate you, the mayor, council, city manager and staff, library commissioners, friends of the library, Library Foundation, and all of the residents of Cupertino on making your vision of a library a reality. I would also like to recognize your community librarian for nearly 30 years, Marianne Wallace. Where's Marianne? And also her fine team of staff, whom there would be no books on the shelves or no great service, as you all expect. I'd also like to recognize 2 of the Santa Clara County Library Joint Powers Authority Board members that I know are here today. Richard Lowenthal, who is the current chair of the JPA, and Dan Furtado from the city of Campbell, who's been introduced earlier, who's also on the JPA. If there are other members here, I apologize. There's such a throng, I can't see you. And finally, let me introduce a very, very special guest speaker, Susan Hildreth, California's new state librarian.
Thank you very much, Melinda. I am so honored to be here. It's just a wonderful day for Cupertino, and I have to say I read my background information about the highest circulation in Santa Clara County, and that's something to be proud of, but it also shows that you are a community who respects learning for all ages, and you should be so proud of that. It's amazing to have this beautiful building here complementing your community hall. It's just a wonderful example. I particularly note that this was done by your own tax dollars. That doesn't happen everywhere. There are lots of libraries looking for funds from the state, which is great, but to have your own tax dollars pay for this, it's a great investment in your community, and you should be proud. I also know it's a public-private partnership, and your foundation and friends have raised lots of money to help, and it shows how dedicated you are to this library. Now, I know you've had a lot of speeches, and I see all these kids out here, and all they want to do is get in that library. And I want to get in there too, but I want to tell you that I can tell this is not your mother's library. You know, libraries are really changing. We are places of community, places of gathering. And don't go in there and expect lots of quiet, because it's going to be a place where people come to learn and share. Libraries really help you navigate the information that we have available today. You know, everybody in a way thinks they're a librarian now because they can go on the internet at home and get their own answer to a question, but we are here to help you navigate the internet, to help kids read stories, find books, and I know you're going to love this building. It's just beautiful, and I'm sure you can't wait to get in. So congratulations, Cupertino. You're one of the best libraries in the state.
Thank you very much. Just a couple more short comments, and we will open the doors, I promised. As you heard Susan talk, this is a private-public partnership, and there has been a lot of fundraising done around this library. So I would like to give Nicole Lee, who is representing the major fundraising effort, a few moments to speak to that.
Thank you very much. Are we ready to go into the library? Yes, absolutely. On behalf of our community, I want to say thank you very much for joining us in funding this library. As you know the history of it, we were asked to do the fundraising of the tables and chairs and the fixtures in there. There are some individuals I really would like to thank today. We have the chair of our campaign, Barbara Rogers. Wave. Thank you very much for heading up this campaign. The second person is going to be our treasurer. Eno, where are you? Eno, where are you? You're our treasurer that keeps track of all the money. There he is. And also, there are 4 groups that really have played an important part in this library. And that one is the Friends of the Library. They do the book sale. Where are you? Let's give you a hand. Thank you very much. The second group is the Library Commission. You'll be hearing from them. Thank you, Library Commission. The third one is the Library Foundation, where you can send your dollars, and they're tax deductible, and we do matching donations of that. Thank you. And the fourth group is the Library Campaign. Thank you on that. The other thing I want to announce, we are still accepting donations when you go into the library. After all, we do want our library to be open 7 days a week, don't we? So, I need everyone's help because I'm still willing to go and help on the campaign, and so are a lot of other community folks. We have 3 fundraisers coming up. We have the first annual New Year's Eve party here in the city of Cupertino. The second one, we will have the Super Bowl party there in the community hall. And the third one, we're going to have a Just for Us Girls party where all of us can be princesses for the evening. So on behalf of our community, I want to thank you very, very much. And this is a fantastic day, and please enjoy. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Nicole. If you see her, go up and talk to her. She'll help you get involved. Our Library Commission has worked very hard on this, as you well imagine. And our commissioners are appointed by the City Council. They do not get paid for what they do. They work very hard. And we would like to give Janet Rydell a chance to say a few words for the Library Commission, please.
Thank you. Madam Mayor, City Council members, city staff, and members of our community. The Cupertino Library Commission is thrilled with the new library, and we thank all of you for your support and encouragement over these long months of planning and construction. We know the community will use this facility, and we all can be proud of this state-of-the-art library. Now, thank you and welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Janet. Okay, now we're going to do some fun things. First of all, I just want to explain to you, in just a minute, we're going to kind of part the C here, and we're going to unveil a statue. And then we're going to cut this ribbon, and we're going to go inside. But I do want to tell you that in addition to all of this year when I have been mayor, we've opened 3 different buildings and had no money for any celebrations because, as you know, the budget is very tight. And wherever I have asked, the people in this community have come forward and helped. Today is no exception. On Torrey Avenue, you see food booths and drink booths. Those are restaurants in our town who are donating food all day today, free to this community in order to help with the celebration. I'm going to mention them briefly. Their names are there. Canton Delights, Boulanger, BJ's, Armadillo Willie's, Hobie's, Dynasty, Todai, and TGI Fridays. And Coffee Society over here is giving away some free coffee too. So please, and Rotary has a beverage booth. If you want to donate some money for your beverage, that's a donation to the library, but they are not charging, and they are happy to have you come and say hello to them. And Ranch 99 and Marina Foods gave the drinks that Rotary is giving. And also the Organization of Special Needs Families is helping with the food booth. So please say thank you to those restaurants. Go in and say hello when you go to buy some food from them, and let them know you appreciate their community efforts. The Randalls, Mr. and Mrs. Randall, I don't know if they're here, but if they are, I wish they would come forward right now. The Randalls wanted some public art for the library, and we didn't have any money for public art. So they volunteered to help select some sculptures along with our Fine Art Commission. And there's one inside, which you will see in the courtyard, which is titled, and I have forgotten the title, which is titled The Readers. And there's one over here which we are going to unveil right now called the Dancers. After we unveil this statue, if we could kind of make an opening here so everybody can see. There's a statue that's covered in blue over here. Can kind of wander down. And we can take it off so everybody can get to see it. I can't see it, for instance. That's because most of the children are taller than I am. Okay. Do we have a staff down there? Okay, if we can walk down that way, maybe we can see. Okay, we're going to do a countdown. Can the children help us with this? Maybe we can do 3, 2, 1. Are you ready, guys? 3, 2, 1. Yay! They are beautiful. Enjoy them. And if I could now get the city council, the city manager, the librarians to please come to the ribbon. So we'll have the librarians, the city council, and the city manager. And I just want to introduce Ralph Qualls, who's around here somewhere. Where are you, Ralph? Ralph Qualls is head of this whole project. He's our public works director. He's here somewhere. And he brought this project, just so you all know, in on time and under budget. And that is unheard of in both the private and the public sector. So can I have the city council? The librarians? Okay. Okay, we have the librarians. Where's the city manager? Where's Ralph? Do we have Ralph? Where are you, Ralph?
Well, wherever he is.
I would normally have scissors.
All right, I think we're going to go ahead because everybody's very, very, very excited. Yes?
Pull it off the wall.
Are we ready? How about if we count from 10 backwards? Can the kids count from 10 backwards? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, come on in and visit your library.